I refuse to let Waco beat me this year. I refuse to let it happen. Last couple of times, things didn't exactly work out. Whether I was slipping and falling at a state marching contest, or whether the regional last year was canceled due to, the sky trying to drop an anvil on our heads. I refuse to let it beat me this year. It will not happen this year, Waco. It's not going to happen. Sorry. Thank you so much for joining me. Good morning again. Daniel Valdez again. Sounding like a crazy person already. And you have to be if you're heading to the Bands of America Waco Regional this weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. Whether you're on the YouTube thing or you're on the Apple Podcast app, youtube.com/Danpodcast, all that fun stuff. Search for me. You can watch all the old stuff. All the old stuff's up on the podcast stuff. All the old stuff's on the YouTube page. Follow me at DanPodValdez on Instagram, and make sure to follow the TexasBands.com Facebook page for those people that have the Facebook social media thing. Waco Regional, here we go. Let's try it again. We tried to get it done last year. And just a brief context of last year. Tried to get the event underway at Waco ISD Stadium. The event, Bands of America tried really hard to get the event at the campus of Baylor University last year. Scheduling conflicts didn't exactly work out, so they had it at Waco ISD Stadium. Weather, lightning, rain, all that stuff. The anvil I was talking about, it just kind of, it didn't make for a very, it wouldn't have worked out. Bands of America did a very, very, very professional and very good job of, calling the contest when they did. 9 programs last year for the Waco Regional got to perform before the event was eventually canceled due to inclement weather. So we're going to try to get it done this year. And as far as the weather is concerned, it looks like it's going to happen. So sunny skies ahead. Let's get forward. Let's push forward. The Waco Regional. Why? Say it with me. Because Waco. Waco gonna Waco. And here's how we do it. We are at the Bands of America Waco Regional Championship presented by Yamaha, October 19th, 2019, McLean Stadium on the campus of Baylor University in Waco, Texas. Why? You know why. Right on the Brazos River. The stadium is really, really nice. I'm excited to be joining the Texas Bands live vlog crew that will be there this weekend. We're covering the event. I will be there for prelims. Mr. Sanchez will be there for prelims and finals. So it's going to be a wonderful event. Everything's going to go great. Everything's going to be awesome. And we are not going to let Waco try and have me fall on the field again. Man, 29 bands signed up for the Waco Regional. This is a really surprising number considering how many UIL region contests are going on this weekend. And by the way, next week, I teased it on my Instagram page at DanPodValdez, Area 5A Area Nerd-In next week. That's going to be a long episode. We're going to go over all the areas. We're going to go over all the schedules. Once all that stuff's finalized and all the schedule stuff's out and I can compile that and look it over a little bit, we'll do the Area Nerd-In over there. And it's going to be a fun time. So 29 bands, a lot of programs going to be here. I'm calling this contest the Redemption Tour. Because not only the contest itself is in a bit of a little redemption mode, trying to get, making sure that, we have, a full contest, with good weather and all that stuff. But there are a lot of programs here that may have experienced less than expected or desirable results in the early season, whether they were at a local contest, whether they were at a Bands of America Regional. So there's a lot of opportunity and there's a lot of programs. There are a lot of programs that are looking to kind of redeem themselves from some early season, from a slow start in the early season. We'll just say that. So let's go over a couple of them. Start time, 7:45. Boswell coming up at 7:45. They have a nice percussion line. Lakeview Centennial at 8 a.m. and then Lake Ridge 8:15, and then Anderson at 8:45. Those are a couple of programs that you may not necessarily know very much, but they've been doing well at the local contests for the season, and it's definitely something to watch out for. Going to the second block, Looking at Alito at 10:15. I really enjoyed their show at the Dallas-Fort Worth Regional. James Bowie coming up from Austin at 10:30. That sounds like they've really improved over the last couple of weeks, so good on them. Burleson Centennial at 11 a.m. By the way, if you haven't seen their percussion line or you haven't heard them, it's probably one of the best in the nation. Really good. James Martin at 11:15. Very impressive showing last week at the Midland Regional, placing, I believe, as the second in prelims and the third overall in finals. So great job to them this season, and it's a much improved program, and can't wait to see them. Dripping Springs, we got the break, and then the third block. A lot of programs here. Dripping Springs at 12:30, Richland 12:45, Duncanville at 1 p.m. Glad to see them back in the BOA mix. Hendrickson come back at 1:15. Forney at 1:30. Liked Forney's show a lot. We got to see them at the DFW Regional performing in exhibition, which was really neat. Mansfield at 1:45. They were at the Midland Regional last week, which is really neat. John Horn at 2 p.m. Check out that fourth block. Look at 3:15. Keller, Fearless, coming at you. Coming down from Keller, Texas. Should be a very, very, it should be a special night for them, to say the least. That show just keeps, Keller's one of those programs where their show maxes out. It gets better and better after every performance. It's like they never take a step back, which is very difficult to do when you're a program in that area when there's a lot of programs around that are really, really talented. But they just seem to go year after year after year. They just get better and better and better. I expect to see the same from them this week. Check out Waxahachie at 4:30 and then Seven Lakes at 4:45. Waxahachie show is very, very underrated. Very underrated. If you're able to see it on Flow Marching, by the way, you can still sign up for a subscription for flowmarching.com, and you can get, you can see all the performances live as they go down if you're not able to make it to the event. Waxahachie, very underrated show, and that ballad, that trumpet soloist is amazing. Seven Lakes at 4:45. They're looking to kind of redeem themselves from the Houston contest a couple of weeks ago. And then 5 p.m., very excited to see the Baylor University Marching Band out there. Just going to go out there and just tear our faces off because it's the home crowd, and that's what Bears do. They tear faces off. In case you haven't been watching Nat Geo for the last couple of years. So this is a really nice contest. Like I said, a lot of programs went to early season stuff, maybe went to an early season BOA Regional, and the announcements were called for finals, and their names weren't called. I've never experienced that as a performer, so I can't tell you exactly how it feels from personal experience. I can only imagine that it's a little disappointing. When you're faced with that type of adversity, there's only two ways to go. You don't level off. You either get motivated and get better, or you let it cloud the rest of the season. It's up to the performers to decide how they want to handle it. The character of a program, the character of a band program, is almost always determined by how they handle adversity. And it's kind of a life lesson, too. How do you handle adversity? When you get kicked down, when somebody says, hey, you weren't good enough today. Somebody says that, or the results dictate that. What do? Do we just go home and say, oh, well, that's it. I guess our season's ruined. I guess it's over. I know it's only September, but, we'll just kind of get through there. Hey, at least I get a fine arts credit. Or do you pick yourselves off the mat? Do you get to work and just and go full throttle and see where the cards fall this time? You don't level off. When you're faced with adversity, you either let it cloud your season or you get better. And from what I've seen so far from these programs, and I'm not talking about Facebook posts, I'm not talking about posts on the Texas Bands forums. By the way, it's a nice little community if you want to join that. I'm not talking about people saying, we're motivated, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about tangible stuff. I'm talking about watching videos and seeing how these programs progress through the season. Anybody can sign up for an account and tell me how good they are and try to get people on their side saying how motivated they are. Anybody can do that. The true test of character is the actual work put in and the actual product that shows on the field. That's what we're talking about. That's what I enjoy the most. You can tell me how good you can tell me how good you think you're going to be all you want. That's cool. You want to do that? Fine with me. But you're not going to get anything out of it unless you put the work in and you practice like you perform. And perform like you practice, vice versa. It's going to be a great contest. A lot of programs showed up this year. This is going to be an amazing venue. If you've never been in this stadium before, it's awesome. It's really, really neat. There's going to be plenty of room, plenty of seats available. And I believe there's two things. Number one, they're not serving. I'm already thinking about that Bush's chicken. You could tell. Clear bag policy in effect at McLean Stadium. So, be prepared for that. Number two, construction and parking. Just give yourself a little bit of extra time because there is construction in the Waco area. Why? Because Waco. It's a little bit of a funky. It's a little weird to get there off the 35 highway, and of course with construction, there could be exits closed and whatnot. Just give yourself a little bit of extra time. Don't be in a rush, and just make sure that you're safe. And just enjoy the event. This is going to be great. A lot of programs, a lot of opportunity to get into finals, a lot of opportunity for some programs to redeem themselves and make good of the rest of the season. Can't wait to see you all there. Like I said, live vlog, live.txbands.com. We're going to be covering the entire event. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. It's going to be great weather. Make sure you hydrate, by the way, even though it's going to only get up to about 86, 87 degrees. I don't know where the sun points in that stadium, so make sure you take care of yourselves before the event and during the event. Make sure there's sunscreen. Make sure you get plenty of bottled water, because we don't want to see people. We don't want to see people getting hurt in the stands or on the field or anything like that. And make sure you prepare for that incline, an 8-degree incline, going into the stadium and going out of the stadium. So whatever energy you need to get into the stadium, you better save a little bit for getting up that hill. 8-degree incline is what they said in the BOA packets. It's going to be such a nostalgia trip for me. I can't wait, and hopefully I don't slip and fall on the field. I'm done here. That's the Waco Regional. That's the Waco Nerd-In. Why? Because Waco, of course. But I'm not going to let it beat me this year, folks. Not this year. I am determined to not make a fool of myself this year. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you all so much for your love. Thank you all so much for your messages and all the well wishes and stuff like that. Really appreciate it. We will see you at the Waco Regional. If you're in the stands, come by, say hi. We'd love to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm done here. Why? Because Waco. That's why. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.